Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Today is November the 8th, I believe. Let me see here. And it is 6:47 a.m. in the morning. The twins, they will be 3 weeks on Thursday. Today is Monday. The twins have kept me and the husband up all morning. I don't know why I thought that, we would get some rest this morning. Like, they had already ate at 8 or something. And so I was like, okay, I'll feed them at 10 and 12, and then maybe we could rest for the rest of the night. No. It's like they took turns crying, and like they just wouldn't settle down. Like, we fed them, we changed them, and it's like they would not stop crying. Like they wanted to be healed or something. I don't know. But it was rough last night, especially with me. It was rough for me when I had to keep getting up, because my legs, they have fluid in them. And they're trying to get sore again. They are a little bit sore. So let me tell you what had happened. So after me and my babies were discharged Sunday afternoon, it was like 2 o'clock. I stayed at home for a few days. Probably about a week. And the swelling, I was still big. The swelling was still there, but I felt like it started to go down because I started to drink apple cider vinegar in my water. And I could tell that my feet were not swollen like they were. But I started to get blisters on my feet. One day I saw them. They were small, and they were on both feet, and it was probably like 5 or less on each feet. The next day, later, they had got bigger, and they felt really painful. They felt irritating, and it was like 2 of the blisters had combined. And I did cover up the blisters, and it was so painful. My feet got back swollen. It was terrible. I told my husband, he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? And I was like, I really don't, but they are in so much pain. I do need to go, because they are huge blisters on my feet. I thought they were boils, but the doctors say they are blisters. So it was at nighttime when I realized that they had gotten bigger, because I was asleep, and when I woke up from my nap, I realized that my feet were in a lot of pain. They were super tight, and I looked at them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my feet has gotten worse. So thank God my sister was on the side of town where I stay. She took the baby. She finally got the chance to babysit the babies, but this isn't the way that I wanted her to babysit the babies. But she was able to babysit the babies while me and my husband go to the hospital. And so we had packed their bags, rushing so that I could hurry up and get to the hospital. It was like 8 o'clock at night. So we hurried to the hospital. Well, we didn't really rush, but I was rushing to go to the hospital. because the sooner the better. And so I got to the hospital. I went to admissions or registration. Soon as I was finished with registration, it seemed like they had called me to go to the back to the triage, where they took my blood pressure and asked me what's going on. And that little room was freezing. I was freezing. I was cold. I was super cold. And I had on some thin joggers and a tank top, and I had 2 jackets. So I was probably waiting in the triage room probably an hour. I don't even remember. I guess the doctor kept forgetting that I was in the triage room and that she needed to come see me, or she kept getting busy doing other things with other people that needed her attention as well. So I just had to be patient and wait on her to come up in there. But it was so freaking cold. I was freezing, and it was like I was so freaking cold. My legs started to feel like it was rocks. Both my legs started to feel like it was rocks, because it was, my legs were swollen, and cold air doesn't go well with swollen legs for me. So when the doctor finally came in, she asked me what's going on, and I told her I got a blister, boils, and she was like, those are not boils, those are blisters. And she was like, oh wow, your legs are swollen. Why your legs are swollen? And I told her I had just had a baby like a week ago. Well, I had twins about a week ago. I'm still swollen. And she was like, okay, that's not good. Like, so I'm trying to remember what she said, but basically what she said was she's gonna have to get some tests ran on me, like some blood tests. And that's what she told me. So they sent me back out to the waiting room. I was in the waiting room for like 4 hours or whatever, but they had called me to the back. They got an x-ray of my lungs, and I was like, wait a minute, why I'm getting an x-ray? She didn't say anything about it. Get me x-ray, and she was like, well, they like to get x-rays for the lungs to see if it's any fluid around your lungs. And I'm like, okay. So they got an x-ray on my lungs, and then I went back out to the waiting room with my husband. And then they called me back like 3 hours later. Like, we probably spent like a total of 4 or 5 hours in the waiting room. They finally sent me to the back for good. They didn't have any rooms in the back, so I was in the bed in the hallway. But they sent me to the bed in the hallway, and they got my blood to see, what's going on with my blood or whatever, how, like, my blood count and stuff like that. I really forgot what blood test they were checking, but the normal blood test. So we was waiting so long back there. I think my husband had left around 2 o'clock that morning. 4 o'clock that morning, because he had been waiting to hear back from the doctor with me. I was like, just go ahead and go home. I know you're tired. So he went home, and the doctor that was there at the time, he had came, and he had talked to me. I really don't remember what was said, but all I remember saying to him was, so all y'all gonna do is send me back home? Because I wanted them to bust the blisters, and it was like, that's not like what they would recommend, because it could cause an infection, and that I should let the blisters run their course. And so I was like, gosh, so I came all the way up here just to be sent home. So are y'all gonna give me any medicine and stuff like that? And so he was like, he was waiting on some other tests to come back in that they had did on me. And hours ended up passing by. My husband said he had saw that same doctor that spoke to me leave. And so some other doctor was on call. So they ended up putting me in a room probably around 5 o'clock or something. I was so irritated. I did not want to be there. I wanted to be with my babies. And I was just so emotional. So when I got in my room, I just cried. I cried. And so basically they ran some more tests on me. So basically yeah, I had to take him out his swing and put him in this car seat beside me because I didn't want to keep getting up to put this pacifier in his mouth. Look at him. He quiet now because he right beside me. He already got his diaper changed and I fed him his bottle. I think that's right, man. So he should be going back to sleep. But anyway, I really forgot everything that happened. But basically, the hospital did basically what they needed to do while I was there the second time. I was, like taken back to like when I was there with labor and delivery. Like they said that my blood count was good, and they said they wasn't able to give me any fluid medicine because they didn't want anything to happen to my lungs. But here I am back in the hospital. I just don't understand. Like, why did they tell me that? But I guess the second time around, they did what they needed to do. I noticed that some doctors or some nurses say what they want to say. They just say what they want to say and make it sound good, like they know what they're talking about. But I don't know if they just don't want to do their job or they don't know what they're doing. But thank God that I got with the right people this time. And it was mostly the nurses. But thank God I got with the right doctor. So, let's see. They had to put me on Lasix. They put me on Lasix to reduce the fluid in my body. Reduce the excess fluid in my body because I was super swollen. I had to keep my legs elevated. So I had to call the nurses whenever I went to the restroom because they put this little bowl in the toilet to keep up with the measurement of how much urine I would put out. And I also had to keep up with how much water I would put in or how much liquid I would put into my body to see if, I'm peeing out excess or if I'm peeing out less or whatever. So I would have to call the nurse and they would have to document it every time. And I was probably in the hospital for 3 nights and I did not want to be there 3 nights. That really hurt me. But, what you doing? This your pacifier right here. Somebody boo-booed. I don't know who it is. So, and they had to do an echo on me. So I saw my OBGYN doctor saw me, and then it was the general hospital doctor that saw me that handles all the, general things that go on with the body. She saw me. So they looked at my x-ray and they said that everything looked good, and then they said let me look at it again, and they said that it looked like my heart was a little bit enlarged, and so they said that they had to do an echo on me, and so that's when they had measured my heart. I had to go to the heart room in the hospital where they measured my heart and stuff, and so I had to wait on the results for that. It took like 24 hours for them results to come back in to see if my heart is enlarged or what was going on. As far as Lasix goes, it's going good. They said I was putting out 7 liters of excess fluid every 6 to 8 hours, and they had me on it. I was there 3 nights, so that's how much I was giving off, like for 2 nights, and then it started to slow down, and my weight had went down. The swelling went down super fast, thank God. What else? So the swelling was the number one thing. They was like, when all the swelling go down, the blisters should go away as well. So the blisters was another thing. They had to order some dressing for my feet to wrap up the blisters, and had to order me some ointment for the ones that bust. And so it was only one that bust, and oh my gosh, it was so annoying and irritating. I had a huge blister on each foot, and it was so disgusting. I would not show that to you guys. So they weren't worried about my foot. They was worried about the excess fluid that was in my body. Hopefully I'm telling you guys everything that I need to tell you to let you know what exactly is going on with me. So they found out that that I do have a enlarged heart, and they don't know if it's from childbirth or they don't know if it's from my pregnancy of having all the excess fluid. So I have to go back to the heart doctor. Within 1 week. I need to set up an appointment today to see them within a week to make sure everything is okay with my heart. They diagnosed me with congestion heart failure, I could have had congestion heart failure. I have congestion heart failure. I don't know exactly if I have congestion heart failure, but it's like, where's your pacifier? They're treating me for congestive heart failure. Because I have edema, and there was fluids around. Was it fluid around my lungs? They said my lungs was clear, but anywho, so this Lasix is supposed to be treating the fluid in my body, and also to treat the heart failure. Will treat, before, that happens. It can happen if I, keep swelling. But they're trying to get rid of the swelling. They're trying to get rid of the excess fluid so I don't have congestive heart failure. It can happen if I don't keep taking this Lasix, if I don't keep doing what I need to do to keep the swelling down. So I have been elevating my feet. I have been taking my Lasix medicine. It's like I take one pill a day. It's a 40 milligram. And I'm trying to drink more water today because, the swelling felt like it was getting worse yesterday. You can't really see it since my legs are small, but I can feel it. It's like a burning, tingling sensation, especially if I stand too long. So I have my legs up. Hopefully I can pee this excess fluid out. So hopefully I made sense to you guys. Hopefully I made sense to you guys. So that's where the predicament I'm in right now. I have my legs up, elevated, and I'm going to be drinking water. I just took my Lasix pill around 6 something. It is now 7 something. So it takes about an hour for the medicine to kick in. So I'm going to be drinking at least 2 bottles of water in an hour. And the medicine's supposed to last like 6 to 8 hours. So I'm going to try to drink at least 2 bottles of water an hour. At most drink like 8 bottles of water today, 16 ounces. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what I'm dealing with. I hate that I gotta go through this, but I gotta go through this. It could have been worse. Thank God that I got there in time so that I didn't have heart failure. It's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to be back home with my babies. This one right here be giving me problems. This the needy baby. He probably the one that got a poopy diaper. And that's the sister over there. So, yeah, basically, they're trying to prevent me from having congestive heart failure. They're treating my edema, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be on this Lasix, but they gave me a 30 count, and I got a one refill on it, and so I guess that at most I'll be on it for 90 days, but hopefully I get off of it before 90 days, 60 days. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to do some videos with the babies, like 24 hours with newborns, and instead of doing a 2-week postpartum video, I'm going to do a 3-week postpartum video. And, all the baby videos and pregnancy videos that people do, after they have a baby. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.